Here's how you can let go of emotional attachments through lucid dreaming. Hey guys, and welcome back to yet another video. In this video, we will be talking about how to let go of attachments or work through mental and emotional attachments through the lucid dream practice. This video today was influenced by my supporters over on Patreon, so if you want to influence the content I create, have one-on-one sessions with me, and a load of other benefits, then definitely check out the Patreon link below. So attachments could mean a ton of other things, and there's going to be a ton of different kinds of attachments depending on who you talk to. These attachments could come in the form of a childhood trauma, a traumatic memory, maybe a relationship that you're trying to let go of, maybe a toxic person, or a friendship that you're trying to let go of. It could be another form of an emotional block, or even negative habits such as physical habits that you do, self-doubt, or even anxiety. Usually what determines an attachment is something that we have an emotional tie to, something that is hard for us to let go of, even if it is affecting us negatively. And we can't always really rely on our conscious mind to be able to do the work for this. We usually have to go to the root of the cause, and that is where we go to the subconscious mind. If you notice, a lot of people that are holding on to attachments or have some sort of trauma or a negative experience that they're trying to work through, they usually go to something like hypnosis, and that's because they get led into the subconscious mind where they can see the issue or what they're trying to work through from a different perspective. Or maybe you've heard me talk about this on my channel, but lucid dreaming is actually the most powerful form of hypnosis because you are directly in contact with your subconscious mind in a 3D reality that you can interact with, ask questions, and move around, and it literally feels like you're there. And that's also why lucid dreaming works so well to work through subconscious blockages and attachments, is because your brain cannot tell the difference between imagination, dreams, or waking reality. So when you face your fears or you come face to face with attachments or emotional blockages in the lucid dream, your brain actually thinks that you're there physically, which has a huge impact on your physical body and your mind when you wake up. Not only will you be able to see your issue from another perspective in the lucid dream, but you can actually ask questions, find out what things represent, and even go back to memories that you can't even really remember consciously. But as we know, our subconscious picks up every single thing that we go through in our lives, and it's all stored in the subconscious mind. So even if there's a memory that you aren't really sure what happened, but you would like some clarity on that, you can actually go into the lucid dream and ask to see it, and you'll be shown the full story. Of course, there's going to be like dreamy images and like weird things in your dreams, but you will definitely know when something is real and when something is truth that you unravel through the dream. The energy will just feel different and you will just know. So as we talked about, there's lots of different attachments or traumas that people could have, and I didn't think it would be really fair to you guys if I gave you the information but didn't tell you something about myself as well that I have been working through in the lucid dream state. So for me specifically, it does come in the form of childhood trauma. I didn't really have the easiest childhood growing up, and I've held on to it emotionally and mentally for quite some time. Probably, I don't know, I think when I was maybe 19 or 20 is when I really started to be able to let this energy go in the lucid dream state. So this kind of trauma or subconscious energy can really stay with us for a very long time, and it can even stay with us our full lives if we don't kind of work on it and be willing to work on it and let it go. But for a lot of things to let things go, you have to learn to understand them and look at them from different perspectives, and this is why it's really handy to do this work in the lucid dream. Not only was I able to go into the lucid dream and ask to go back to those memories, first of all, I knew that I was dreaming, so it wasn't going to be, terrifying or anything. And also something that I've talked about in my previous videos, exposure therapy. So if you're around something that makes you anxious or kind of nervous for a really long time, your brain starts to disassociate with it energetically and emotionally. So you've probably heard of this in therapy. Say someone is scared of elevators, like deathly afraid of elevators. If they're around elevators long enough and they take little steps to be in the same environment as an elevator, the brain can't stay in a constant state of anxiety, and so it kind of starts to rewire the brain. This can also be done with emotional attachments, mental attachments, and even traumas, fears, phobias, anything like that. And since in the lucid dream, you're able to consciously be aware in a different reality and actually manifest any situation that you want to, and the brain thinks it's real, as you can see, this is something we should absolutely explore in the lucid dream state if there is something that we're wanting to work on or let go of. I've been able to understand why I have been holding on to that childhood trauma so long, why that energy block is still there, and what I needed to kind of change in my life now to let those things go. And it really can prevent us from moving forward in a lot of different areas in our life. So if we take the initiative to change things willingly, it can really do so much for not only those attachments that we're trying to let go of, but our future as well, and what we're actually capable of and can achieve. What I've also noticed is you're actually able to even ask dream characters in your dream or your subconscious mind directly how you can let go of these traumas or these people in your life that you're ready to separate from, or any other attachment like we talked about. You can actually get really intellectual advice from the characters in your dreams, because everything in your dreams is you. And as we know, the subconscious is so intelligent and knows much more about ourselves than we consciously think. You know, our conscious mind only controls 5% of the brain, and we don't really get to interact with the subconscious mind consciously aside from really deep states of hypnosis or just lucid dreaming in general. So it can really answer so many questions that you have. Let's talk about maybe a previous partner that you're missing, or you know that that person isn't good for you and you're trying to let go of that relationship. What I would recommend doing is going into the lucid dream and asking your subconscious mind why you're holding on to this person, because again, your subconscious is going to know a lot more about why you're doing these things or holding on to these things, or what might be there that the conscious mind wouldn't be able to tell us. Maybe it's something that you had in common with that person and you weren't able to find anyone else in your life today that shares that thing in common with you. Maybe it was something that your partner did that really made you feel loved, or in a way that they made you laugh, or something that you're holding on to that they did, so you can kind of justify holding on to a relationship that isn't good for you. Again, this is just an example. Please take what resonates and kind of disregard the rest. I'm trying to put many people's situations in one specific example, so this is just an example that I'm using. One thing that I also did as well that I think is worth mentioning, I also do this during meditation. Say there's something that you're ready to let go of, like we talked about, it could be a person, some sort of other attachment, like anything. So use this to what resonates with you, but either in a meditation or a lucid dream, you can manifest a rope or a string that's connected to you and that person or that attachment or that memory, and then imagine severing the tie or the rope. Again, you can do this in meditation or the lucid dream state, but again, the brain thinks it's actually happening. So if you tell yourself, this rope or this tie is what is keeping me connected to this person or this energy or this attachment, whatever it may be, your brain's going to believe that rope that it sees is what is keeping you connected emotionally. So when you sever it, it actually really does have a powerful impact on the brain. And I know this sounds like too easy maybe to be able to do from the lucid dream state or even in meditation, but I promise you it can. It's all a subconscious thing. Everything that happens in our life is due to our subconscious mind. I promise you. Even what we're bringing in, what we're manifesting, what we're attracting to us really is about our subconscious mind. Quantum physics shows us that this is true. So if you truly make your mind believe something, whether it's in, meditation, waking reality, or even in your dreams, and you actually interact with that, it is going to have a super powerful impact on not only how you feel afterwards, but your life moving forward. So I hope that example made sense. I had to do that with a lot of my traumas and even people in my family that I know aren't good for me. I had to create that rope situation or that tie and sever it. And of course, I've also been asking questions in my lucid dream and really finding out what it is about me that is attached to that memory or that person. So this is a lot of self-work, and that really is the way to advance in our life in ways that we didn't even think possible. If we want to change our reality and what we're experiencing, we have to be willing to go within and face those things and grow from the inside out. Maybe it's an emotional block you're experiencing, maybe it's just anxiety or self-doubt, or maybe even a physical habit that you want to let go of. This could be like drinking a lot of alcohol or nicotine addiction. It can really be anything, any habit or any emotional block that you're experiencing that you're ready to let go of. You can do this in the lucid dream as well. What you'd want to do for this, since there's not really a memory to go back on necessarily, I mean, you can always ask your subconscious where this habit or this emotional block started, and it could either talk to you directly, it will change the dream to answer your question, or it will actually take you back to the time in your life where that thing started. So the subconscious mind is seriously so intelligent, so make sure to have a list of questions so you don't just get in the lucid dream and don't know what to do, because you can really ask anything and find out anything about these things that you've experienced in your life. And it would definitely be a good idea to have like a list of questions or like a to-do list to kind of guide your experience once you get lucid. But yeah, one thing I'd recommend for you guys to do, anyone that's experiencing these kinds of things, is to ask your subconscious about it. Why do I have anxiety? When did this anxiety start? What started this negative habit? You can even ask your subconscious or the dream state, how can I stop this negative habit? What do I need to do to let go of this, whatever it may be? It can either give you a really simple answer or a pretty intricate answer depending on what it is and what you're asking about. But if you also want to change like emotional habits or like anything that we really talked about, you can actually play that scenario out in the lucid dream, and it will actually have an impact on you when you wake up. And it might take a few tries before you start to see physical results. But the fact that you can do this through your dreams while you're sleeping, like, this is insane. So say that you have a habit of smoking cigarettes, for example. What you'd want to do for at least one of these situations is go into the lucid dream and play out the scenario where you're completely free from smoking cigarettes. What would you be doing? What would you say to yourself? What passions or hobbies has that one thing stopped you from doing? Play that out in the lucid dream like you're completely free of that attachment or habit. One thing that is super powerful is auto-suggestion in the lucid dream, so you can actually say statements, and like a lot of statements that we say when we're awake, we have to repeat them over and over and over to get them to go into our subconscious mind, but it actually cuts the time in almost like half when doing it in the lucid dream, because it's directly going into the subconscious mind. You are in the subconscious mind. So if you want to rewire your brain to let go of, smoking cigarettes, for example, you would go into the lucid dream and say, I am so happy and grateful now that I am smoke free. I am so happy and grateful now that I do not crave cigarettes, or something along this sort, depending on what you're wanting to let go of. You'll notice that the more you say it in waking life and in your dreams, the more you actually start to believe it, and the more you start to believe it, the more you start to actually live it and see it happening. I had really, really, really bad anxiety and depression growing up. Even after high school, it was like so bad. I would have random panic attacks that were extremely intense a lot of the time, pretty much every day and like multiple times a day. Anxiety so bad that I couldn't even really function, actually. And so I did a lot of this work in the lucid dream and actually played out being completely anxiety free in my dreams, and what I would actually do if I was anxiety free. What is something that your anxiety or depression has stopped you from doing? Play that out in the lucid dream. Your brain will see it as it actually happening and think that you're actually free from that anxiety, because it knows what it's been holding you back from, and seeing you actually do it and play it out will have an incredibly powerful psychological impact. If you have self-doubt or something, or self-confidence issues, definitely just go into the lucid dream. Be in the world that you are confident in. What would you create? What would you do? What would you say to yourself? I am so happy and grateful now that I finally love myself to the fullest extent. You could say something like that. You could alter it a little bit, but I'm sure that you guys get the point that I'm trying to convey. Lucid dreaming isn't just about flying and hanging out with whoever you want. I mean, you can absolutely use it for that, but it is something that has changed my life so drastically that I can't even explain it to you. And the people that I've worked with, the things that I've seen them overcome, like the things I've seen them accomplish once they started going into the lucid dream state and working with their subconscious mind, is absolutely incredible. So for those that don't even believe that this exists or that it's possible, I don't want you to take my word for it. That wouldn't be fair to you. I want you to test this out and experiment with it yourself so that you can see the results that you get. I could definitely go into this topic loads more, but I definitely want to keep it kind of short and simple for you guys. That way it's not like too much of an information overload, but I want it to be something tangible that you can actually use and it actually benefit you. So I hope that this video helped, and definitely let me know if you have any questions down in the comments. If you want to learn how to lucid dream in 30 days or less, definitely make sure to check out my 40-part lucid dreaming video course. It goes into all of this as well, what we've talked about in this video: rewiring the subconscious mind, getting rid of fears, phobias, using the placebo effect to mentally, emotionally, psychologically, and physically heal. So I've made sure to touch on the really deep work that you can do in lucid dreaming in that course. So if you want to sign up for that, make sure to check out the link and also use the code HALF for 50% off. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing to this channel to support me and so you don't miss out on any future videos as well. I would love to see you back for another video, and I would love your guys' recommendations or any questions that you have in the comments. And a special thanks to Aaron W. for supporting the channel on Patreon. Guys, if you do want to support Patreon and actually have more influence on the content I create, get free one-on-one sessions with me, along with a load of other things on there, definitely make sure to check out the Patreon link below. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining. I love you so much, and as always, I'm sending you endless love and endless lucidity.